Hello everyone, and welcome to my first place Exosister deck profile, Post-Burst Protocol. I played the deck with the new support, and it shocked the hell out of me. This deck did so well. I was really impressed, and so I want to show it off. And it's different from the guide as well. I made some changes, and I like them a lot, so here to show off. And I can go in more depth about, different options and how the deck felt and everything. So first off, we're going to start with our Exosister monsters. So we're on 3 Martha, no surprise there. 3 Ellis, also no surprise there. 2 Stella, and 1 Sophia. So this is all we're playing. This is a really low amount of Exosisters. Most people play like 2 Sophia and 1 Irene. The reason I didn't do that, even though it hurts your grind game a decent amount, is that I didn't want to be bricking on the really bad Exosisters, because Sophia, not good to draw. Same with Irene, because they're basically the same card. Really didn't want to see those. So, and it was good. I barely drew Sophia, which is good. I don't want to see it. The only one I would maybe change here is I am thinking about bumping Stella to 3. I haven't done it yet, because I will show what changes I am making to the list, because I have quite a few. But, Stella is good. I think this is the best normal summon in the deck. Yes, even better than Aratama. I would be playing... I would consider playing it at 3 for sure. It's a good card. And the more Exos you play, the better your grind game is. After that, we've got 3 Aratama and 1 Ichiki Seorihime. So this is the biggest change I made. Ichiki Seorihime was really good, fantastic all day. Aratama was the worst card in my deck all day, by like a lot. It was, it never felt good. It always felt like a problem. The problem is, if your Martha gets negated, you're usually going to use your normal summon on Martha to then like summon an Ellis or summon something else from hand, or you're going to use a Stella to get the Martha out of your hand. Aratama conflicts with all of that by being a normal summon. And especially if you already have Ichiki Seorihime or a way to Ichiki Seorihime, you don't need this card. It feels really bad to draw in hands with any amounts of other engine in it. And as your only starter, this card loses to everything, and the only extender that pairs nicely with it is Ichiki Seorihime, which is the card you want to be searching with it. So if you draw this with this, it feels bad. It doesn't feel good. So... and also, because we're not on any other spirits, this card didn't have another target, so if I drew this, it was my one target. It just felt awful. I am cutting this card straight up from the list. I don't think you need it. Without this, you still have 12 one-card starters and multiple 2-card combos. So I don't think you need this card at all. Ichiki Seorihime, I am bumping to 3. This card was really good, and I wanted to see it more all day. If you have any Exosister on board, this thing can bring itself out for free and then get you another Exosister from deck of any kind. It's really good. It plus itself is also a full combo because it can normal itself if you control itself. So really good. After that, we've got our Exosister spell, or I guess we've got our starters, in our spell starters, which includes mostly Exosister cards. 3 Exosister Betrayal, 3 Exosister Packs, and 3 7th Tachyon. So, Betrayal is one of the new cards. I will explain what it does for people who haven't read the new cards. When it's activated, you get to add 2 Exosister monsters from your deck to your hand, then discard a card. And then you can target one face-up monster you control, and then immediately normal summon an Exosister mentioned on that monster. And then if a monster is sent from your opponent's grave, you can... so your opponent chooses one to banish. Notably, the card does not read like that because Konami messed up and didn't put the right... didn't localize the text properly. So it is eroded at the moment to be... to say what it's supposed to say, which is your opponent chooses the card to banish, which means because your opponent is choosing to banish a card, your Exosisters will trigger off of that. So that effect triggers your Exosisters. These are all really good starters. 7th Tachyon is the worst one just because it needs you to put a card back, which is annoying, but like getting to Martha, it gets you to every good card in your deck. It gets you to all the Exosisters. It gets you to Ichiki Seorihime. It's a banger baller card. Like it a lot. Betrayal is also really good. That being said, The big issue I have with Betrayal is that it's a continuous spell, and man, you do not want to be playing continuous spells right now. Radiant Typhoon is the MST deck, meaning you can just never resolve this card against that deck. Fallen in the Virtuous is super popular right now, and this card loses to that. The Exosister packs, or I don't know what I'm talking about, packs. Flame on Betrayal can be really annoying. It's not terrible, but like it's not great. And the biggest thing is you can use other board breakers to dodge stuff like Flame and like the Mandate negate from Radiant Typhoon. You can't do that with continuous spells. So it is really hard to get Betrayal to resolve in a lot of matchups, going second, which is really rough. But going first, this card's unbelievable. It's like the best card in your deck, probably. Really, really crazy card. Exosister Pax is just a good card. I mean, it searches your whole deck. It's a quick play, so you can use it whenever. The only downside is you can only use it during the main phase, but it's a good card. I wouldn't change any of these. These were all very, very good. They're all one-card starters, because Martha's a one-card starter now. Very good. After that is our Exosister Traps. We're just on one Returnia and one Vadis. The new Exosister Ixies allows you to recycle these cards infinitely, so there's no real reason to run multiples of either of them. They're both really good. Definitely need to play both of them. They're both crazy. Now onto the non-engine. We've got 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Fuwalos, and 1 of the notorious Dimension Shifter. So these are the only hand traps that I think are that good in this deck. And the reason why is because this deck has 16 slots for non-engine, which isn't bad, but it's also not crazy. And the other thing is that this deck really needs to be blowing its opponent out going second. You want to have the most chances you can of just blasting your opponent's board open, because the Exosisters need to be able to all hit the board. You need to be able to keep an Exosister monster on board, and hand traps are going to make your opponent end on a half board that will probably be able to deal with the 3 Exosister names you can get onto the field without controlling them. So it's rough. I honestly, for that reason, I'm probably going to cut Ash Blossom from the main. This is really just in here to beat Mulch Armies, but like, you really only need to side it because I think game 1, and because most people aren't maining Perulia, game 1 into Fua, you can very easily give your opponent 1 draw. You just have to not use Martha and make Carmail. And Carmail's phenomenal by itself. It's like a very strong interruption. Or I guess it gets you to a multitude of very strong interruptions. So I don't think you need Ash Blossom in the main. We'll see if that works out for me, but the card was very fine all day. It just made my going first stronger, and I think this deck's going first is already very, very strong. Fua was great all day. Shifter, I drew it twice during the day, and it was crazy both times. That being said, I did lose in the match. So my last match was against Draco Tail, and or Branded Draco Tail, and the one game I shifted them was the game I lost. So maybe it wasn't that good. We've then got, for board breakers, we've got 1 Called by the Grave, 3 Forbidden Droplet, 2 Forbidden Droplet, 3 Fallen in the Virtuous, and 3 Evenly Matched. So, Called by, self-explanatory, hand trap, beating hand traps is good. Droplet is in here. Actually, I guess I'll explain both Droplet and Fallen in the Virtuous. You might think these are really bad because they conflict with Shifter, but Shifter's only at 1, so the chances of you drawing both are not that crazy. And like, if that's the case, I mean, Shifter's so good right now that I think not being able to use these cards is not a big deal. You also have a bunch of cards that like get cards out of your hand or want you to discard or put cards back, right? Like, these are not that bad to draw. All of these cards I think were very good, except Fallen in the Virtuous. I think it's a very good card right now, but Fallen in the Virtuous is like, just doesn't do enough for this deck. And because, but you can't use this card to dodge, to help Betrayal dodge removal or like negates. I don't think this card's that good right now in this deck, but I think this card is good right now. I don't think it's good in this deck, even though it's really cool and you do have the extra X space for it. I wouldn't play this in the future, but it's not a bad option, and it just didn't come up during the day. Anytime I drew it, I just didn't need it. The main reason I played these 5 board breakers, though, was because they help evenly dodge, specifically Radiant Typhoon's Mandate. It helps them beat that card. So, like today, I played against, or not today, at locals, I played against Radiant Typhoon for my round 2. Game 1, I went evenly matched. They went Mandate, they went MST and then Mandate, and then I went Chain 2 Droplet, send the evenly matched, and they just lost right there because I just get to clear the whole board, and then I went full combo. Really, really broken. Evenly is, I think, the best board breaker right now, and I think you're fine to main deck this card. You really want to. It's so good in a Draco Tail. It's so good in a Radiant Typhoon if you open a way for it to dodge the Mandate or something. And it's just crazy. It's very, very good. I will go over the cards now that I think I would play instead of some of the other things I ended up cutting. Because I think I want in the future to cut Ash Blossom, put it in the side, cut Aratama altogether, and I want to cut the Fallen and the Virtuous. And the cards I want to replace that with are the 2 Ichiki Seoruhime, 2 Forbidden Lance. I think this card is really good for helping you keep your Exosisters on the board going second, because if you can, it becomes a lot easier to extend into boards, but it's really hard when you can't like get through things. Lance helps you do that, and it's also a good card going first. That being said, you could also play Forbidden Crown, and it kind of serves the same purpose. And it's a little better at it in some ways. It's a little worse at it in others. I think either one of them are very valid options. I'm playing this one because it's not $60. And then the last card, and probably the most interesting, is I'm wanting to put in a Radiant Typhoon package of the 3 Vision and 1 MST. So the concept here is that Radiant Typhoon Vision searches MST, which means it's kind of like a slightly worse Fallen and the Virtuous. I guess it's a little more than slightly worse. But like MST is good right now. MSTing your own evenly matched does dodge the Mandate. It dodges a few different cards. MSTing your own packs helps you dodge Flame, so on and so forth. And what's nice is you can use either effect of Vision in the same turn to, use it once to get an MST, use it again to draw the 2 cards. Speaking of which, if we put the Forbidden Lances in and we put these in, I believe our deck has 13 quick play spells in it. So you have a pretty decent chance when you draw this card to be able to go draw 2, discard 1 of your 13 quick play spells. And this deck could absolutely use a draw 2, discard 1, especially since we're putting Aratama to, since we're cutting Aratama, so we're a little down in our consistency. And drawing into your really broken cards like Evenly Matched is really good. The only problem I have with this card is you do also have the chance to draw into cards that do nothing and you can't discard, like Fua and Shifter. But I think it's worth it. I think this card is really, really strong, especially in a board breaker deck. Oh, the other card, there's one other card I would want to throw in, which is I would want to throw the 3rd Droplet in the main as well. This card's really, really broken. I wish I had seen it more all day. But yes, I really like these cards. These are what I would replace some of those cards in the deck with. Onto the extra deck, we've got 3 Exosister Michaelis. She's the best one, although she's got competition now because we're also on 2 Exosister Carmael, and I did put a 3rd Exosister Carmael in after the event because I pulled a 3rd one in my prize packs, which was very funny. I do think you play 3. There were multiple times where, in theory, a 3rd one would have came up, and it's a really good card. Like, this card is your best friend in the grind game. It is so unbelievably good in the grind. Because it can set your Exosister spell traps from anywhere during the end phase. And importantly, it's Onyx Seize Summon. So if you tag out, if you use Magnifica to tag out into this, or use one of your Exosisters to go into this on your opponent's turn, you'll get to set one in that end phase as well. So you just keep having an Exosister spell trap every single turn that you get back from wherever. You can Shifter and still get the card back. It's crazy. Carmael is the best card this deck could have possibly gotten. It also beats Nibiru. This deck beats Nib pretty consistently now. It's crazy. After that is Exosister Asophiel. This is your Floodgate. This is your Abyss Dweller, which is really, really good right now. This card into Draco Tail is crazy, and that's why we're on 2 of it. So going second, you could theoretically make one of these going first, or going or on your first turn, and then you could theoretically make another one on your opponent's turn after you've broken the board. Because it's also not a bad board breaker. It lets you target a monster on the field and bounce it back to hand, which is not bad. Really, really strong card. After that, we've got one Jabreen. If you were to cut the Fallen and the Virtuous targets, I would put in a second Jabreen because I think Jabreen is a really good card, and there are like the reason why is because if you want to use this as an interruption, and it is a good interruption, a target negate right now is quite good. Your opponent outs it, it makes it a little harder to OTK on the follow-up turn. So having a second one of this means you can make one on your opponent's turn, and then if it gets outed, you can make another one on your next turn to then set up your OTK really easily. And then after that is one Exosister Caspitel. This card used to be like a 2 or 3 of. Now it is the worst Exosister monster by like a great deal. You really only go into it if you want to set up for follow-up and you've already made Carmael to beat Nibiru or whatever and you want to end on it. And then you use it for the Floodgate effect, which doesn't come up all that much this format. It's not bad. It's just not like crazy. It also locks your opponent out of summoning stuff from the grave, which would trigger your Exosister effects. So unless your opponent's summoning like a million cards from their grave, it's not super great because you want them moving cards out of the graveyard. So I don't know. Like I think Caspitel is very mediocre now. And also, when it comes to searching follow-up, you kind of don't want to do that a lot of the time because you want to leave Exosister names in your deck, especially in my list where I'm on so few Exosister names. I really don't want to be getting more of them out of my deck than I need to. I want to leave as many in there as possible. The only card I'd ever consider getting with this is Martha. So yeah, I think Caspitel is fine. I think it's like, you still play it for sure. I mean, you get locked into Exosisters pretty much every turn. So no point in not playing it, but it's definitely not super necessary anymore. After that, we've got the big boss lady of the deck, Exosisters Magnifica. She's crazy. She does everything. She's your OTK. She's your best disruption. She's a fantastic card going second. She's awesome. And then finally, we've got one number 104 Masquerade. This is our 7th Tachyon target. And then I've got one Ecclesian the Dark Dragon and one Albion the Branded Dragon. So during the tournament, I was running 3 Albion, with one of them being in place of the Carmael, the third Carmael. But I then pulled Ecclesian the Dark Dragon in my prize packs as well. So the 2 cards that I'd thrown into the extra I pulled, which is very funny. If you're going to play Fallen and the Virtuous, play this card because it's really, really good. I just didn't own one, so I didn't play it. Play the card. Very good. But I wouldn't play these in the future. The other card I'd throw in over the second name is probably like a Zeus or a Typhon, or maybe, actually no, it would be a level 5 fairy or level 5 light monster that you can reveal for 7th Tachyon to search Lancia post side. There is a lot of decks right now that are really bad in a Lancia. Specifically, a Lunalight, when you go first, Lancia is your best friend because Lancia stops them from heavy polying you, which other than Carmael, you have like no counter for. And if they make Liger, you just lose the game. So you need to be able to stop that card. After that, we've got our side deck, which I have a lot of changes for. I guess not that many. I only have like 4 cards I would realistically change. First off, we have a bunch of hand traps. So we've got 2 Bell, 2 Droll, 3 Perulia, 3 Imperm. In fact, almost our entire side deck is hand traps, and 3 Purge. So I'll explain each of these, and I'll explain which ones I would cut. First off, Droll and Perulia are awesome. The big blowout hand traps are the exact kind of hand traps you want to see, and both of these are big blowouts. Perulia is awesome into a bunch of the decks right now, especially Radiant Typhoon. Droll is, it's always a good card. Droll, your combo decks are always going to be around, and Droll beats the combo decks. Then Purge, Imperm, and Bell, I'm actually going to cut from the side because the low impact hand traps just are not going to do enough in this deck. Bell especially is almost never going to do enough. The best thing it can do is negate Draco Tail traps. That's the best thing you're getting out of it. And I think there's cards that do that but better. So I don't think you need Bell. Not a great card. It also negates stuff that moves things out of the grave. You don't want to do that. You want them to move things out of the grave. And then Imperm is fine. It's probably the best of these during the day. It was all right. But I'm going to cut this card for Lancia. I guess I'll explain what I'd cut these for. I would cut the Bell for... so I have to look. I would cut the Bell for Irene, the Exosister, Irene. And there was another card, and I don't remember what it was now off the top of my head. I don't remember, but there was another cut I was going to make. But I definitely would put an Irene in the side for going first, just as a really good option to make your grind game better post-side. I think that is super helpful. And then I would cut the Imperm for Lancia, because Lancia is awesome right now, and it is a big blowout. And now that I know Malice, after that YCS, is a real deck, yeah, you probably want to play Lancia. And then Purge was maybe the worst of these, because it locks you out of Exosister Carmael, which is terrible. Like, you make that card literally every game. I did not realize how important Carmael was at literally every point in the game. You need Purge. Purge is so important. Or not Purge, you need Carmael. Carmael's so important. Locking you out of it with Purge is a death sentence. Do not play this card. I don't think it's remotely worth it. And it's a low impact hand trap, which this deck I don't think should be running anyway, so I don't think it's very good. It really would only be a decent card for like post side going first, I think is not bad. But I don't think the deck needs help going first. So yeah. The card I would cut Purge for is Dark Ruler No More, for the decks that go really wide. After the tournament, I played a bunch of games against Archmage and lost literally all of them. If I had Dark Ruler in the side, I think it's a much easier matchup, and there's a bunch of matchups like that, because my main deck is very centered around beating back row. So if I play against a deck that's mostly monster interactions, I ain't got much for it. So Dark Ruler helps a lot with that. And that is the list. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know how you're building your Exosister decks. Let me know what you guys would do with this deck. I think I might bring this to a bigger event soon. We will see. I'm between that and Radiant Typhoon. I like both decks a great deal. I just realized I didn't show off the whole side deck. I also have one Ryo because it's hilarious and you can search it off a Cheeky Sayori Hime. And I also have one Forbidden Droplet as the third droplet. I would put this in the main deck from now on. Sorry about that. Anyway, yes, I would love to hear what you guys are doing with this deck, what you guys would change, what your guys' opinions are. I really like this deck. I think this deck feels so much better than it ever has before. I like it a lot. I think it has really good matchups into the format right now. My only issue is it's just very rough going second, which is why we're on so many blowouts. But let me know if you guys have a fix for that. Anyway, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.